What's up, fight fans?
Greetings from the Wrestleverse.
Your host Billy here.
Go ahead, Jackie.
All right. Lady J. It's my first time with all of y'all.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And this is Tijon.
And
And
it's time to take it to the ring.
There we go.
Well, you gotta love going live for the first time, all three of us together.
I was about to say it'll get better, man. Don't worry about it. The more you do it, it's like riding a bike. We'll get it.
It's like
But-
the all real cruel. You're so smooth, and we're like, we'll get this figured out.
All real
The true
crew is
fight
far
fans
from
are with
smooth.
us.
I hope they're watching because God, I know that's a compliment. We are the most jagged podcast probably out right now, but we're working it out. We're smoothing
No.
it. We're trying.
All real.
Yeah,
It's a
all
real
real,
podcast,
exactly.
man.
Yeah, thank you, man. But yo, I've been waiting to get into this. I'm so glad it finally happened. And I gotta say, much better. The Elimination Chamber was way better than Royal Rumble. Had some flaws every now and then, but overall, I enjoyed myself.
I
What do you
totally
guys
did
think?
too.
Yeah, it had
Yeah.
some ups, some downs.
Yeah,
It was a fun ride all the way through.
definitely.
Good
Definitely.
episode.
Yeah,
So-
I really enjoyed it. Go ahead, Jack.
Lexi
Go
and
ahead,
I
Jack.
were accused of like dyeing our blonde hairs or something. Because the other day we're like, wait a second. So the Elimination Chamber match is the Saudi Arabia match?
Dyeing your blonde hairs? Oh, blonde moment. Oh, hey, I take
Yeah.
offense to that. No, I'm just joking. So yeah, I didn't either. And apparently this is a huge event. It's the equivalent
Yeah.
to WrestleMania. I mean, the production is just as high. They spend probably just as much
man.
money and make just as
Dude,
much money.
Poor
Keith.
Keith. Poor
What's
Keith.
up, man?
Oh, geez. I'm sorry, man. No, you might want to either stop watching this or get your spoilers now. So here's a big spoiler alert. You
Buckle
missed
up,
it,
man.
my boy.
There's a lot of
You missed
spoilers.
it. Yeah,
This
it was awesome.
was a good one.
Yeah, it was actually really, really good, man. I'm sorry you missed it. Holy moly. But no, it was really early too. So I don't think a lot of people on this side expected it because most of the time they're not that early, but because it was all the way in the Middle East, all the way in Saudi Arabia, like they had to get it done early because over there it's night.
That makes
So
sense. I didn't
yeah,
think about it
so-
until after the fact.
yeah, no, I know a lot of UFC does that. Like whenever they go to Abu Dhabi and stuff, I have to tell myself to like get on UFC or ESPN Plus so I didn't like waste my money on the pay-per-view because I'd be mad if I paid for it and then missed it,
I was loving
So-
it though. My
Yeah.
pizza, it's lunchtime, wrestling.
You got the rest of your day. Like, yeah, I kind of like
Yeah.
the format. It's just getting everybody on it. It's difficult because we're not used to it yet, But
I
I
like
was
it.
actually surprised with all the energy that the wrestlers have. The jet lag they must have had. I don't know what pill they took or
B12.
what they were snorting. Yeah, it was something. Like I don't know what they were injecting, but they had all the energy in the world. And I'm thankful
It was
for
exciting though.
Yeah.
Like the fireworks, the set. I was like, dang, this like stage setup is great.
The production
Yeah.
was fantastic. And did anybody else notice that the clothing was very different for the ladies?
Yeah.
Was that
What?
just for
No
the area?
giant baggy t-shirts.
Yeah.
And you got to remember where you are.
Very progressive for Saudi Arabia.
The
Let's say 4 years ago,
cats
women couldn't
We're kind
drive,
of
so that's a big
sexy.
deal. I'm sorry.
The cat suits. Everyone was in a cat suit, and I'm like,
Ugh.
No
I mean,
though.
other
There's
than
still
Ronda
skin.
Rousey.
You're not getting any of that still, but yeah, it was definitely still more progressive. I give you that. I definitely
Very
give you that.
different.
Yeah, but let's get into it, man. The
All
very
right.
first match. I didn't think that they would put the Roman Reigns match up first, but man, what an entrance, right? I enjoyed this one. It was so dope.
The
Great
biggest pop when he said, "Acknowledge me."
The crowd
Very huge
really
pop.
fell into it. You could definitely tell ton of Bloodline fans.
Yeah, and I wasn't that surprised that the Bloodline came with him, like the Usos were with him, but I was honestly surprised that they didn't interfere. It was kind of like they walked him out and went right back. So I was shocked at that for sure, because I was
Yeah.
definitely expecting some shenanigans, and we didn't get that.
They
But
were
we
before we
got a
get
saving
little
it
bit
for
fully,
later.
Yeah,
oh
a
yeah,
little. Lady J beat me
you
to it.
know,
Yeah, that was for later.
you know. But before we get into it, let's talk about the predictions. And I think everybody thought the same thing. Everybody had Roman Reigns beating Goldberg, but this was still a very entertaining match, guys. Like, this was as intense as they promised, and Goldberg did not miss a step. I gotta say, it was very impressive.
It was
So
exciting.
our
So
speculations on health issues
yeah,
confirmed false.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, he seemed okay.
all right.
Before
Keith wants to get in on this. Okay, so you talk to the guys. If you wanted to create a superstar in the game 2K22, who would I be?
Oh, that's you, Lady J.
Yeah, he asked us this few days ago, actually.
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Mhm.
A couple
So
days ago.
when we went on the Chris Jericho cruise, I really wanted to dress up as like a girl version of Paul Bearer. So I would want to be the Undertaker.
Nice.
Wow,
That's a
I
good
can
one.
see you pulling that off, like
Yeah.
a hybrid or just full on
Hybrid,
Undertaker.
like black sexy suit with like a red bra, the white makeup and little urn. Yeah, Tommy Mac would have made a great Undertaker with me.
That's a good one. I like
Yeah.
that one. I didn't even think about the Undertaker as like a set. That would be dope, especially
Yeah.
now. I think that's definitely going to be a thing on 2K22 now that he's hitting the Hall of Fame. So,
Cool
that's going to
promo
be
tonight
awesome.
with him.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was I'm real happy for that. There was a few moments, man, I gotta say, where I choked up a little bit. I choked up on the Undertaker one. I choked up with Lita. Like, dude, there was a lot of like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, we're
I
getting
got a little
old.
pissed during the Lita match.
I think a lot of us did, man. But I mean,
Yeah.
overall, it was still really good. Like, I truly enjoyed myself. But the opening
let's stay
match,
on track.
man. It's cool. The Roman Reigns and Goldberg match was crazy. I mean, we all knew that Roman Reigns was gonna take pretty firm control over the match. And I was honestly waiting for Goldberg to have his shine, and he 100% did. I mean, the spears that he was hitting
Yeah.
Roman Reigns with were crazy.
But the beginning, like super strong lockup. It was like
Oh, yeah.
two bulls or like two dinosaurs just like shoving each other over the place.
A couple
That's
moose.
a great
The
analogy.
moose locking horns.
Yeah, it was like,
racks.
you see two meatheads in a bar bumping each other for a while. It was a real Macho Man kind of like size up for a little bit. And I think that they both had to respect each other's strength before the match even started. But man, I mean, Roman Reigns, like, you love him or hate him based on how his character's going, this man is crazy good. I mean, he hit that Superman punch with some fury behind it.
Oh yeah, it slowed Goldberg down, but like this giant spear stopped Roman Reigns and has
Oh, yeah.
knocked the
Look at
wind
that.
out of him.
That's some
Completely.
old man strength right there. That's like
Oh,
that.
Yeah, that's
Get 'em.
like when you try to take on your dad and he still got it a little bit, and that you could tell that that's exactly how Roman Reigns felt. He was real humbled after he got hit with that spear. He was very slow to get up, but you can't keep Roman Reigns down for long. And it was it felt like a classic wrestling match almost between these two. It was kind of reminiscent on like kind of the stuff that we grew up and what our parents probably grew up watching. I just really enjoyed it, man.
I was a fan of when Roman Reigns did the Uranagi, finally stopping
Ooh,
Goldberg.
yeah.
Wow.
That guillotine. I love jujitsu, and so that deadly guillotine lock that put him to sleep. Like, this was this is becoming a classic Roman Reigns finish.
It went on forever, and then he like wrapped his legs around Goldberg, and he's like carrying him around.
I was surprised at how long Goldberg actually lasted, because he was just slamming him into the post, trying to shake him off. And, once Roman Reigns gets that lock in good, he's not letting go. And as soon as he jumped on him and locked his legs around him, I was like, oh yeah, it's done. It's over.
But Tommy Mac's like, no, did he seriously just choke him out?
It's that big, thick neck, man. It just helped him hold on for that much longer.
I don't think that he would be able to get a good grip, but I mean, surprisingly enough, Roman Reigns was able to. He somehow slid in there. You can see it. So I'm impressed. I was very impressed with this win. It was a solid performance.
It was a great win.
For once. I wish that it could have been as clean like that when he faced Seth Rollins, but, I digress.
Well, we know for sure.
Yeah.
That Roman Reigns
that road again.
Is going to be facing Brock Lesnar for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's set in stone, and I think we're all super excited for that one because that's going to be a real test for Roman Reigns. I know they've already fought, but, it's still going to be a really, really great match because they're in such different places now, too.
Yeah, one's coming to their stride, though. Reigns is really coming to his own, and Brock Lesnar is just a mammoth, man. He has just grown so much over the years. He's in a completely different stage in his life.
With a chip on his shoulder, I want to say almost. Like, it's like, you guys must have forgot who I am kind of feel to it. So this seems to be a real, like, I don't know, a much more aggressive kind of Brock, which is saying a lot,
That really is a more aggressive Brock.
That's but I see it. I mean, we saw it in Elimination Chamber, and I cannot wait to talk about that one. The very last one, that was ridiculous. But let's go on to the second prediction for the women's chamber match. I loved this one. I was disappointed, though, and I'm disappointed in some of the fight fans. How did everybody have Liv Morgan winning it? That's a surprise.
I was surprised.
That's shocking. I'm a huge fan of Liv Morgan. I would not have pegged her for winning. I'd call Belair all day.
Yeah,
all day.
I said Ripley.
That or Ripley. Yeah, we were saying Ripley between the two, depending on how they came in the beef with Ash and Ripley.
Nobody voted for Nikki Ash or Doudrop.
Zero.
I think that's disrespectful that you guys put Doudrop with Nikki ASH. I think that's kind of crazy because Doudrop is a monster and she deserved her own category. So that's probably why she didn't get any votes. They're like, oh no, we're not putting her with that. So I think that's what happened. Yeah. If they weren't together, I'm sure Doudrop would have got some votes. But this match was actually really good. It started out with Nikki ASH and Liv Morgan, which was a really fun showing. I think that Nikki ASH was clearly more distracted in like seeing her old teammates. She used to be with Alexa Bliss and she was with Rhea Ripley, and so she has some real side beef with these two, and that just kind of distracted her from doing what she had to do in the match because she was really beating down Liv Morgan for a bit.
That tends to be Nikki Ash's biggest downfall. If her head is not in the game, she can't wrestle well.
It's very mental when it comes to Nikki, for sure. And I think once she gets past that and maybe loses the costume, it'd be a really, really great draw. Like it's been showing, throughout this whole development this whole year. She's been really, really good and very entertaining.
I love how you guys are on the psychology of this match. And I was like, what are they wearing? What are they not wearing? I'm like, oh, thank God they're not wearing a giant baggy t-shirt. And then I was like, ooh, Bianca's coming in, taking off her hoop earrings, because this reel's going to be... We got a real fight here.
I wasn't even paying attention to all that. Honestly, I kind of wrote off Bianca Belair because I knew Bianca Belair was coming in last. So I was like, oh my God, I don't want to watch that part. You know what I mean? So I was really just watching. I mean, I guess I kind of had bragging rights side bet with Noah and Jamil because they all pulled for Bianca Belair, and I had my girl Rhea Ripley going the whole way. So I was like, come on. Give me what I want. Give me my win.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley, man, she's a beast. She really showed out. But I mean, we were talking about that. It really just kind of depended on how these first few matches went, if she could go through all the way.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought that
so
this was funny with Dewdrop. Like, what was up with that? With Nikki trying to like fist bump her, like, we're good, we're cool, and then
yeah,
got humbled
let's team
immediately.
up.
Yeah, it was like, you idiot. Like, there's no partners in the Elimination Chamber. I think that's exactly what Dewdrop said to her, right?
I don't know, but I know Dewdrop picked her up, slammed her into the chains, and then she did a
Oh yeah.
firewoman's carry, slamming Liv into this
Oh
chain.
yeah, look at this, man. She was beating the
What a
brakes
great
off
shot.
of them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what a lot of people were seeing when they said that this match was in. Like, I was enthralled. I was like, oh my God, especially with Dewdrop. Dewdrop came in hot. And it was like she just beat everybody down. I think Nikki did a few things to like kind of cut her short a little, but yeah, Dewdrop took over as soon as she came in. And
Yeah,
then
that was
Rhea
after.
came out.
But
Oh,
like
Look
go
at
ahead.
that face
those,
from Nikki.
I know. I was a big fan of like the big senton booty bombs on everyone.
Yeah. Oh
Booty
yeah.
for everyone.
Yeah, but when Rhea came out, I mean, you could see the oh crap on Nikki's face because she knew, and she was talking trash to Rhea Ripley while she was in the chamber. Like, you're gonna wish that you stay in there longer and that somebody gets me out. And Rhea Ripley just comes out like, all right, what were you saying? And she was just like, never mind, and like tries to run, tries to like climb the cage. Rhea Ripley throws her back down, hits her with that riptide, immediately gone.
It
Like
was
she was light
beautiful.
work. Yeah.
Nikki just getting stopped by Rhea Ripley.
I
Love
love when
it.
it happens. It feels so good
You
because
know,
Nikki,
Ash has
man,
really shown out, but I've become more of a Ripley fan because of their beef. And I've always liked Nikki Ash.
I think
ASS.
because Rhea's been much more calm and collected, but also that kind of turned people away from her a little bit because you're supposed to be like Miss Brutality, and so where's the brutality? And now you're starting to see it. Whenever she sees her, it's on and popping now, and I love it. There's no more like softness. Like, I'm trying to forgive you. I understand you're mad. No,
No.
F that. It's been too long. Like, you're just gonna have to catch this ass whooping at this point.
Yeah.
I love it.
Take it to the ring, and that's what they did.
Yeah, exactly. Take it to the ring. It's super fun to watch them compete. But Nikki lost first, but Alexa Bliss took the show, in my opinion. I was not expecting her to come out swinging like she did.
She did. I was like, ooh, nice head scissors. But there were some misses.
There were. I
I
mean,
was
she's
like,
shaking off the rust.
uh-oh.
I think they said she hasn't competed since September. So I'll forgive her. I'll forgive her a
Yeah.
little bit off of those misses. But,
She's only
it was.
just now gotten her little Juju doll back. So, that energy and Juju has to come back in order for
Oh,
her
the
to get her full
energy.
powers.
The energy was 100% there. It was just she was missing some technique to her skill. She was just like a flaming ball, just running around everywhere, and it
Flying,
was working.
flipping, and missing. I'm like,
Yeah,
girl.
it was like she clearly had a lot of like energy that she's been wanting to get off. Like, she's been waiting to get back in the ring, and you could tell. And so it was like as soon as she did, she was just like, "I'm gonna flip, I'm gonna smash, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna throw." It was like, okay, and then what are you gonna do after that? It's like, I don't know. I'm gonna just keep doing it. That was what we saw that entire time that she was in. But it was really fun to watch because it was kind of working, given how long she lasted. And I got a terrible shot at this. I tried my best, but I was super surprised at Liv Morgan pinning Dewdrop the way that she did also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since she like botched it at the turnbuckle and like hurt her knee.
Dude, did you see? Yeah, when she like it was like she got pushed off, but her leg got trapped.
Like
and
her
I was like,
boot.
oh God, her knee. Yeah, I thought they were gonna call it or something. I was like,
It didn't look good.
Yeah, it did not look good, but she finished out real strong. You wouldn't even be able to tell after how she got rid of Dewdrop. So I was thoroughly impressed with them. Like I said, also, man, taking into account the fact that they had to fly over to Saudi Arabia in like a night. This is ridiculous. You
Was
know
it
what I
that
mean?
long?
I'm so impressed. It had to be something, a good like 8-9 hour flight, if not more.
I think it's
Yeah,
it's a long.
it's a
I'm
super
sure it's a
long
long
flight.
flight. I thought they had a couple days to get out there. Well,
Not all of them.
yeah, not all of them. Now that I think about it, yeah, not
I mean, think
all
about
of
it. The
them.
Usos literally flew out, and that, you know what? That's probably why they did what they did. But I'm gonna save that one for
Now,
later
yeah,
They were all kind of probably jet lagged. They're like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. We're gonna have to pause this and table it. But now, like, okay, getting ahead of ourselves. Bianca Belair comes out and just straight up dogs everybody, man. Like, that was crazy, but not unexpected.
Did you love the double vertical suplex by Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair?
Oh, you know I got that. You know I had to get that one.
Oh.
But like, I got this one-handed like slam that she did on Liv Morgan. That was embarrassing for Liv. But yeah, I definitely had to get that double suplex from Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. I thought that they were going to team up and just get everybody else out of there, and we were going to see them scrap. That's what I was waiting on. I was like, oh, cool, bet. Finally. Yes, I want this because they're both fresh. It's going to be like a run back of the gauntlet match that they had. So I was super excited when this happened, only for it to be soiled when they started slapping the crap out of each other. And I was like, God damn it. I was so upset. I was so hurt.
Well, I think that was just a whole lot of tactics and planning from Belair. Just trying to think ahead, take out the strongest opponent. But you got to love a tandem suplex.
Oh,
I mean,
beautiful.
Anytime you see it, got to talk about it. It's a beautiful thing.
It's just as beautiful as a KOD from Bianca Belair.
Oh, you know, and those were on display. But yeah, Keith, you didn't know Steve Austin was stepping back in the ring at WrestleMania to face Kevin Owens. Yeah, that's apparently the thing. It's a rumor, but it's a strong rumor.
I had my tinfoil hat when I first started talking about that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know Lady J was on that.
And then I had to take it off.
It started because he had a ring built in his backyard?
Yeah.
That was so crazy. Yeah. I didn't find
Kevin
that hard to
Owens
believe.
was talking a whole lot of trash about Texas, and Steve Austin ain't having that. So, I mean, did you guys also see that promo a little bit with The Rock and Steve Austin facing off? We're going to touch on that on the All Real Crew too, ladies and gentlemen. So tune in later at 6 for that because, yeah, I'm kind of interested in that one for sure. But, getting back into it, Alexa Bliss pinned Liv Morgan, which, again, like I said, she was just a flaming ball of energy that entire match, and she was bound to get somebody up out of there. And, Liv Morgan was first, so I'm sure she was gassed.
Hit someone.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Liv Morgan got the worst of that exchange. I don't remember what her finisher is called, but it was a clean one. Oh man, what's it called? The Twisted Bliss is what she hit her with, and it was impressive. It looked like she wasn't that far removed once she hit that.
No, but our girl Bianca slammed her back and forth and chucked across the freaking ring.
It was ridiculous what she did to Rhea Ripley. I was like, how did you do that? I mean, you can see the face of Rhea Ripley is a literal terror for once. You never see that. And it was like, oh, well, I guess I'm up here now. And she gets slammed, gets pinned. So Rhea Ripley's out.
I was surprised by that pin.
Demolishing Alexa Bliss.
Oh my God.
Ragdolling her.
But so when Bianca Belair does that huge like moonsault, right? She flips off the top rope, and I'm like, no one was ever home. Why did you do that?
Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking when she did that either. I think that she just got caught up in the moment and wanted to do some moves. That's what it felt like. I don't know where that came from, but again, I'll give props to Alexa Bliss, man, because for this to be her first showing in September, 5 months, almost 6 months, this was an impressive way to come back. I was super impressed with her performance, and even though she may not have gotten the win, she put up a hell of a fight. I gotta say, of course, we knew once Rhea Ripley was out of there, I was like, okay, so Bianca Belair got it, and she did. It wasn't that hard to imagine, as you can see. She got the win, but it was a great fight that Alexa Bliss put up.
There was a second though where I'm like, I swear to God, if Alexa Bliss just rolls her up, I'm gonna walk out of here.
Oh, I think that would have caused a riot in Saudi Arabia, and a lot of TVs would have been thrown in the States. I don't think that would have sat well with everybody. But Keith said another thing, man. He says that Belair looks like Lex Luger doing the right. I think that's a compliment. I'm gonna say that's a compliment.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta love a good old fashioned torture rack, man. And I mean, Belair, she is just so impressively strong. She can come out and she really showed Saudi Arabia what she's got. I mean,
She
the
really
was the
did.
KOD finisher, taking it
Yeah.
out for the win, and just
This was
it's
my favorite
impressive. I
part though,
love
man.
seeing it.
Seeing her
Just a
go
huge
one-handed,
lateral press. Gotta
one
love it.
hand. I mean, you can see Liv Morgan was kind of helping her out a little bit,
I know. I
but
think
the fact
Cody.
that she was able to do it,
I think Corey Graves was like, almost make it look effortless there with a little help from Luke.
it's like, well, that's a bad angle, but it was. I can see the vision, so I'm not gonna bash you too bad, Bianca. It was dope. I
It
liked
was.
it. I was hype at the moment too.
Like, I
So
can't
no,
do
I'm not
that,
gonna
so I
bash
should
it.
shut up.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a grown man and I can't do that, so it's fine. Barely do that with my kids, and my kids are 1 in like a few months. But we finally get to see it happen again. Bianca Belair does the impossible and goes to WrestleMania again for the second time in 2 consecutive years to challenge for the title.
I'm
Good
happy.
for her.
I'm happy with this.
Yeah,
She deserves
I
it.
can't complain. That's a solid ending for the Elimination Chamber, and I'm happy to see what she can do in WrestleMania. I think she has a lot to show us, and she's not going anywhere. She's only going to get better.
I definitely agree. I think that like this is just the beginning for her still. She still has a whole lot of room to grow and a lot of time left in you know in the Wrestleverse. This is gonna take a lot of there's gonna take a lot more talent to really get on Bianca Belair's level. We already got a few. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, Rhea
We need
Ripley's
some
right there.
people who can yeah, Rhea Ripley is right there because she's not gonna be the EST forever. And I'm saying, like, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to come and challenge that. And there's a lot of people in NXT and a lot of other promotions that can give her some work.
I
So
know
I'm
some of
very
those
interested.
girls in the Diamond Mine over at NXT.
Yeah. Gosh, what's her name? It starts with an N, right? No, it's with an I.
Yeah,
Yeah,
NXT. Different conversation. I
yeah,
was like, that's some
Anybody speak
power.
Portuguese?
he's stout.
No.
No.
Gosh.
Yeah, this is only English, my dude. But I love the Pocoyo avatar. Keep tuning in.
Oh, dang. We have Pocoyo in our house, too.
Oh, dude, all the kids love it, man. I'm tortured by Pocoyo in my dreams.
We were like,
But
oh, shoot, we need to buy this before it gets off of Netflix.
oh, it's back. They played everybody. Yeah, they put everything back on. I was like, "Oh, you bastards! I can't believe you did that to me."
Amazon
But
taking my money.
yeah, there was some play there. But this match was also really good. We finally got to see this tag team, and you know, this was really hype.
Yeah.
Okay.
This had a lot of beef building
Can
up.
I talk outfits?
Go for it.
All right. So Charlotte Flair loving that red robe jumpsuit. Oh my gosh.
Really? I
She's
thought it looked like a Christmas onesie with her black boots. Like,
I was feeling the queen vibe there, man. I was loving it.
I think Naomi's outfit was the best outfit, though.
It was
I
great.
think that
But I was like,
entrance,
what happened to your hair?
a lot of pizzazz. I mean, she showed up
yeah,
to Saudi Arabia letting everybody know she was there. You could see it from a mile away, shoes
dude,
and
yeah.
all.
I mean, the light show, and then like the fact that the outfit like coordinated with it, dude, that was dope. I don't care what nobody says. That
Yeah,
was
that was a
awesome to
great
watch.
intro.
Yeah. All right,
But
but
again, super covered up,
predictions.
right? I
Holy
mean,
hell.
that's I've never seen that little skin
Yeah.
in WWE.
But all the
Anything in
curves were
wrestling.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
I'm not
definitely weren't
complaining,
having
but it's definitely different.
it. You wanted more skin?
That's just noticeably different.
I feel it. I feel it. But clearly everybody in the Wrestleverse felt the same way that we did. I think I thought that Ronda Rousey and Naomi would have it. I didn't think it would be to this kind of margin. I definitely thought that they would put up an extreme fight. I thought that I mean I said it kind of earlier this morning in the SmackDown review that I did. I thought that Naomi and Rousey were pretty cocky coming into this when they were like throwing the table at the contract signing and all that. I was like, oh, they're too cocky. That's going to be a problem. but
Well,
it worked out pretty well.
yeah, you need to go into it cocky
What's
like
up,
that.
Jimmy?
Good
I
morning,
was kind of,
Jimmy.
hey, good morning, yeah. Good morning. I would say it was definitely. I was kind of surprised you didn't see more of Charlotte Flair. I
I
was
mean, but they kind of did
expecting
that.
way more. I mean, there was appearances, and then when she showed up, it was a game changer. But it seemed like she let in Sonya as often as she could.
She
Like it
totally
was
did.
in and out.
I definitely saw that. That it was funny that Sonya Deville's been milking that arm injury just to like
Hmm.
come out and like do the wave with her arms and stuff, like showing her like, yeah, I'm good, and she tricks Ronda Rousey into getting her arm tied up. It was just it was silly, It was one of those things that it was like, of course, everybody saw it coming. Even Ronda Rousey had to laugh.
It was a
Yeah,
fun little swerve.
it was, and I think that's exactly what it was. A fun little swerve. And seeing Ronda with her hand tied up, that made it a little bit more interesting. Truthfully, I think it did make it a bit more fair. But I want to see a straight up match. I don't want to see
Yeah.
that.
Oh man, I
Take it
knew it
off.
was over when she came out with the gi. I was like, oh man, yes, yes, this is gonna be one of those matches.
She
As
is
soon as she came out
serious.
with that, I was like, oh, it's over for everybody. So yeah, they should count their stars that she had one arm behind her back. And like you said, like Charlotte Flair was not really trying to fight that much. I mean, Ronda Rousey challenged her straight up, and
Mhm.
she was like, "You guys want me in?" And everybody's like, "Yeah." And she was like, no,
Nah.
you thought. Yeah,
I
and comes
really
right
think she
back
felt
out,
like it's
tags
that
on you.
there's nothing to earn here. What's the point?
This was
That
she kind of was
wrapped up
just
in silly
dragged
beef.
into this. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like,
wrapped up
okay,
in
this is
silly
my
beef.
friend. And like, that's all it is. It really wasn't much there wasn't really anything there for Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey to even really be there. The only reason why Ronda Rousey, I think, was so aggressive was because she doesn't like Sonya Deville either. So that's just something that Naomi and her have in common. That's what I really got out of it. Like, oh, wait, you agree? Yes, the men's chamber ending was crazy, but kind of stupid. We're gonna get into it, but you're
We'll
100%
get
right.
there.
Yeah, we
Before
will
we
get
get
there.
there.
Yeah, we
Okay,
will.
hold
But
on.
Naomi,
Wait, before.
Yeah.
So Rhonda's like, whatever, Sonia, you're faking your arm injury. I'm gonna step up on your thigh to kick you in the head.
that was actually impressive too. I mean,
Oh
she's super
yeah.
athletic, man. Like she's the GOAT for a reason. You know what I mean? Like her athleticism has not gone anywhere in all these years. She's always been dominant.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't expect anything less from her. And that's why I said it's like I'd like to see a square fight. None of that cheesy stuff with the rope, but
Yeah.
it made it a bit more fair.
I think
So
it made it more interesting. I think that she would have walked away with it for sure. And yeah, I think that Ronda Rousey will win the title. It's kind of set up that way. It'd be super surprising if Charlotte Flair actually keeps it. But I do see how that would happen, because Charlotte Flair is also her own big titan in this industry, especially, like her lineage. So it'll be very, very interesting how to see how that whole thing like sets up. I'm paying a lot of attention to that match specifically because it
yeah.
could really go either way. But the whole Naomi coming in like a fireball also as usual because she hates Sonya Deville's guts. So I was super happy to see her
She
beat
came
Sonya
in with
Deville
some
down.
fury, man. I
She
loved it.
Yeah.
wanted
She gave
in
us a
on the
show.
action.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I think that Sonya Deville was prepared this time. She did not go out like she normally did. She was
Mhm.
ready this time. And so
I think that
I give credit to Deville.
that whole little sleeve thing was not only a mental, but she was really getting ahead. She was preparing herself. She
Hmm.
was probably putting her nose in the books and really paying attention. Naomi, she's wrestled
Yeah.
her a few times now, not always straight, but she came into that and really ready, and we saw that with a lot of the reversals and counters throughout that match. And
Yeah.
it was, I mean, Naomi, don't get me wrong, she did a fantastic job, and she continues to impress me match after match. But Sonya showed up, and she was ready for it. And when
And
they faced
Charlotte
Yeah.
off,
Flair was in waiting to like
yeah,
jump in
Oh yeah,
and
right
take down
here.
Ronda Rousey.
She did it right there. Like as soon as Ronda Rousey got that armbar, she was just right there to stop that from happening. And I was super happy with that. Like I didn't want the match to end that quick because I was like, finally Charlotte Flair's in it. And she started taking it to Ronda Rousey for a little bit. really yanking on that good arm, trying to get her armless, basically. I don't know if anybody's seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but it kind of reminded me of like that. I was like, are we going to see like
Just
a
a
Black
flesh
Knight
wound?
situation? Yeah. It's like she just don't fight with her feet. I was ready for it, man. I was like, this is going to be funny.
What are you gonna
If she
do?
does.
Bleed on me.
Yeah. I was so ready for that, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be hilarious if she pulls that kind of thing off. But apparently we missed something. Keith said he said a rap in the chat. I gotta look back. Fresh Prince. Who wants to do it? I'm not gonna recite it. You do it. You do it, Billy. I'm tagging you
What?
in. I found it.
Oh, the Fresh Prince?
Yeah, you got to
Oh
do
gosh,
a
you're
Fresh
putting me on the
Prince rap.
spot. I actually
Yep,
do
go
know,
for
but
it.
you're putting me on the
Here you go.
spot, man. I'd have to hear the music. Oh,
We'll come back
man.
to it, Keith. We're gonna come back to it. Somebody take a picture of it, and Billy will do it. I'm sorry to throw you under the bus, bro, but I can't do it. I won't. I
Oh.
won't. I refuse. But yeah, it was. I
I'm
don't
stuck
think
in it.
that
I gotta
the
focus.
Rey
You guys are
Mysterio
getting me
and The
off
Miz
track.
got a good one.
I
don't think
agree.
that
I was
the-
like,
the-
when did I miss that match?
So
they
I
didn't
was
get any
expecting that too.
airtime.
I'm glad you guys said something. Thank you. So I was expecting the same thing. What happened? I mean, we got a big tease. We got a big build up. I mean, did one of them get the COVID or something?
No,
No,
they
it
fought.
happened.
They fought. They 100% fought. They did a recap, and like I guess they treated it like it was a prelim or something. Maybe they had technical difficulties, and I don't know. I have no idea, but like we'll get to that too. I got some screenshots, so I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
It's okay. I saw it. I don't know how I did it, but I saw it. So don't worry. I got you. I got you guys.
I was
Okay,
in
but
and
yeah,
out too. The pay-per-view stuff's weird.
It is. But yeah, Cody Rhodes is allegedly coming back. That's something Lady J can touch on too.
I know.
She's the
I was
tinfoil
like,
lady.
they saw him like at the airport
know.
in Poland, and then
I
I
was
was
waiting
looking
for
at
that.
my news for Fight Kitties, and they're like, nah, he's back in Orlando.
Just a big tease, man. Is he just a giant
Oh,
troll? Is he teasing
that
us?
would
What's
suck.
going on, man?
That would suck. But good, because we're gonna roast him on All Real Crew. So that makes me feel better about it too. But
He's been roasted enough, man. The guy's
no, there needs to be
charbroiled.
more. There needs to be more. If you're gonna come back, then you gotta get welcomed back with some more roasting.
The barbecue's not over.
The barbecue is not over. We're pulling it back up. But getting back into that Ronda Rousey one, man, like she was getting her ass whooped. If we're being completely honest, that one arm behind her back was kind of starting to fail. If it wasn't for her getting to Naomi, it probably would have been over pretty soon. Like
Well,
I'm super impressed with her being able to.
Charlotte used the rope and like yanked back on her with it.
Yeah.
Pulling her hair, like it was some real dirty moves going on, but Charlotte was not having it. She was like, "You wanted a fight? I'm gonna give you a fight now."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that. I thought that was fantastic. She was definitely saving her energy.
Yeah, and then Charlotte Flair had a lot to say about it too. That's like she was going off, flying around the ring, doing a bunch of nice, athletic, agile, flying moves. Man, it was impressive to see. And I mean, it's not anything new, but it's always impressive to see her go off the way she does. That corkscrew
that
off the ropes.
Corkscrew was so beautiful.
Yeah, man.
That was
clean.
impressive. It was picture perfect. I think they showed us once or twice, and you just see it, and she landed perfectly, belly down, and all that inertia and momentum, man, that makes a big difference.
Oh, most definitely.
I was impressed.
Most definitely. Oh wow, that's a take. All right, bro. Worst Elimination Chamber, Royal. I'll give you Royal Rumble. I'm with you on Royal Rumble, but Elimination Chamber, ooh, I think he was mad.
This one was interesting. There was some drama.
That's right. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. That's cool. I want to say worst.
Belly said the same thing. He said, it didn't say the same thing, but AEW has way better wrestling. It's.
I am partial.
Consistently more entertaining, I'd say. It has a little more entertaining.
It's a different kind of entertaining. Let's be 100% honest. WWE is more family based. It has the fireworks, the light show, a lot more of the backstage and like beef drama build up. AEW, yeah, they have blood. I don't like it for the blood. I like it because it's just more intense. They get right to the action. They don't do the drama stuff. There's no DQ. But I mean, WWE and AEW are completely different. I mean, it's totally different. They each have their own great things, and you have to appreciate that. If you want to go into a Ford and Chevy kind of debate thing, you can, but they're both still trucks. It's both still wrestling. They're good. They have great stuff.
You got to appreciate them both for what they are.
Yeah,
Don't expect
absolutely.
to get what you get in AEW, what you get in WWE, and you won't hate it as much. It's like
Watch
expecting
everything.
chicken from a steak.
You'll have
You're not gonna get the same flavor. Appreciate the flavors.
Watch
Yeah,
us and
because you
watch
guys are
all
missing
wrestling.
out on AAA and New
Yeah.
Japan.
You can get your fix. It's out
In
there,
New Japan.
wrestling fans.
Yeah, and watch GCW tonight if you really want some intensity.
Oh yeah,
That's gonna go crazy. But
that's an
let's see
impressive.
some more comments. Yeah, had some hopes for the chamber. Yeah, I don't think anybody liked the way that it ended, bro. I will be honest. I think we're all on the same page. Like nobody is arguing with that.
I liked it. I thought it was different. I did not. We can't get ahead. I don't want to do any spoilers too quick.
I'm trying so hard. Guys,
we'll get on it. We'll get on it. Yeah, let's go.
I want to so bad.
Okay, so Charlotte Flair gets Naomi in a figure 4, and Ronda Rousey breaks it up.
Gets that kind of retaliation, kicks the hell out of Charlotte Flair. Yeah, so that was nice to see. But then Sonya Deville throws her out the ring like a rag doll, and she was out for a little bit.
Right, she came in again. She was really showing up, and I was impressed with Sonya in this.
She almost pinned down Naomi. It was like 2.5 counts.
Yeah, she was really close. And then, but when Ronda Rousey came back in and did that one-handed slam that she did, that was wildly impressive. Like you can't just pull that off. That takes a minute. The Piper's Pit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So clean, so impressive. And yeah, a golf clap for her. It was awesome.
I've been surprised by that judo gi. I was 100% excited. I guess I was surprised is an okay word. Yeah, I mean, if you're not used to it, maybe. But when you have a gi on, especially a judo gi kind of thing, they're usually kind of light. So it's not that bad. It's when you get a bulky gi that it's a little bit harder. A little insight for those who don't.
I was always more of a singlet guy.
Oh yeah, no, I wore the gi a lot for a very, very long time. But man, this was my favorite part, the end.
The trash talking. The arm bar.
It was so what you gonna do this time? Because now the ref's looking. You want me to get closer? You want to, what are you gonna do? And if you look in the corner just a little bit, I'm just gonna sit here and look in the bottom. You can kind of see Sonya Deville's face. Please help me. She just has that look of just take the DQ and get me out of this, please. But
I really think Flair was no, I have a reputation. I'm not going to get it.
He was I'm not going to keep doing this. I think that she was just this has ran its course. Let's end this. I feel like that's what Charlotte Flair was
I think that's a great way to put it.
But I don't think Sonya's going to team up with her again after this.
Oh, no. Why would she?
No, I think this is it.
She left her high and dry.
Yeah, this wasn't a real friendly thing. I think she just got tossed into it. She saw her getting hit, and she was like, well, she is an official. I should probably do something. And then she kind of got roped into a tag team, and she was like, well, I'm not doing this again. I'm probably just let her get beat down.
Your boss up. She had to. I think this is run its course. You said it well. I don't think they're ever going to team up. This is done. It's squashed. I think we're going to see. That's a great shot.
Was what we needed. Yeah. Because you just see her staring her down the whole time. This is going to be you. That's all next. I felt like she was saying. Yeah, this will be you in WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be real fun to watch. I'm excited for their match. But got to say, Charlotte Flair looks unfazed. Stone-faced about it. It was okay. You're not doing that to me.
She's I got the belt.
Mm-hmm. She's the queen.
Yeah.
And she holds it like the queen.
Oh, yeah.
I think, Nate, you got it backwards. Sonya was talking about Naomi, not Charlotte. She was saying how Naomi wants everything handed to her and Ronda Rousey because of their styles and stuff. She thinks that she sucks off Charlotte Flair all the time. Yeah. She's big fan of Charlotte Flair. Whoa, that would be interesting.
Ooh.
Naomi joining the bloodline
with her man.
Wow.
Huh.
I can't
but
see
isn't
it,
the
though.
bloodline? I mean, you can't be the blood. There's no vicarious blood.
They're married.
They're married, but that's not the same. That's not. You can't
because they can
Naomi
divorce.
Turning heel.
You can't go out of blood.
But they're not even fully healed. That's the thing that's got everybody confused. It's they just do dirty stuff and then they try to go back to being cool. And it's just can you pick one? Just pick one.
Which is getting old.
Yeah, exactly. You keep teetering the line. Yeah, it's starting to become tired. Honestly, thought maybe I should
Go bloodline.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. That's exactly what she's doing, Nate. She's just trying to save her energy because she knows Ronda Rousey is not one to like take lightly, and that's all that this was really for.
Yeah.
I think that this was a way for everybody to get their frustrations out on Sonya. And once Charlotte Flair realized that, she was like, "I'm just going to take a step back because they don't care about me anyway."
Well, she
This
doesn't
isn't a
want to
match
get
for me.
injured either.
She
Yeah,
knew how that
exactly.
was going to go. Why go in there and do that? Let her get worn out. Let her get tired. I'm good. I'm fresh. I'm not going to go in there and get beat up.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. You got an agreement. Nate thinks that Naomi and the Bloodline are one. So there you go. You got an agreement. But I still don't think so. I think that she's good where she's at. Don't put her in the Bloodline. And plus, people like her. People aren't gonna like her if she joins the Bloodline.
I like
That's
the
not
glow.
gonna be a good art.
Yeah.
I love the glow.
She pumps up the crowd, man. She's a ton of fun. When she comes in, the crowd goes nuts. I love her entrance.
Yeah, it's lit. It's a very, very entertaining
absolutely
thing that they do. I love it. I have a great time watching that. But then we got to see this awesome match.
God.
Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss. And Happy Corbin had to tag along, but I'm glad that he did. So let's see what you guys thought.
It made it more interesting. It definitely made it a little bit more fair. McIntyre showed up, man. Holy cow.
And look at what everybody said.
95%.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's a very fair stat. Not taking anything away from Madcap Moss, because Madcap Moss is great. And they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Immediately they came out, jumped him, tried to stun him. I think that, Drew was ready for that. Like, once it was a false count anyway, that means there's really no DQ. So that's going to happen. Once Happy Corbin came out, I think everyone was like, oh, well, here we go. Here comes the shenanigans. And that's literally what happened. That was a match full of shenanigans, but McIntyre was just ready for it. I mean, this stare down that sent him running was hilarious to me. The way he booked it to the ramp, like, wow.
Well, then what? After that, I mean, they were just wrestling all the way back down the ramp too.
After that big boot to the freaking face.
Yeah.
Like I loved how you could see when he flung him into the bandit thing that it like started like staticking. I was like, damn, he hit him hard. And now, like that was the point, Nate. Says like it annoyed him because every time Drew had the upper hand, he did what he was supposed to do. I can't hate Happy Corbin for doing what he was supposed to do. That would exactly been the strat.
I know he snuck out to do a double suplex on our Drew. My goodness.
Oh, yeah, I got that. That was impressive too. Like when he came back, I was like, oh hell. I thought we weren't gonna see him again. I thought once he left, I was like, oh, this is just gonna be a straight like devastating beatdown for Madcap Moss. So I was actually impressed that he came back to help him out a little bit. But yeah, I was getting a little frustrated with all the interferences, but I can't fault him. Like that's what like when he comes in, that's what you expect. That's what it's gonna be.
It needed to be, man. This would have been a 3-minute match. It would not have been entertaining. Drew would have came out and just absolutely destroyed him.
Please end it. It'd have just been a slaughter. It'd have been a big slaughter. So because of that, Moss had a lot more, momentum, I'd say. He was able to like really take control of the match in certain parts.
Until that Alabama slam.
Oh man, yep.
Am I getting ahead of myself here?
No, it's right there.
No, you're on it. There. Popping suspenders, like tossing them around. It was fantastic.
I don't care what he probably said after. I know he felt that. And if he didn't, somebody needs to check him for a concussion too. Because there's no way that he walked out of that.
Him and Bobby Lashley in the concussion room.
Yeah. They were like eating ice cream at the concussion protocol for sure. And then you see Happy Corbin, like he did what he was supposed to do again. He pulls Madcap Moss out of the arena before he gets hit with the Claymore kick, and he's had enough. Like Drew McIntyre just chases him. They're doing laps around the ring as he tries to get him. And Madcap Moss foolishly doesn't stay down. Oh yeah, gets flung over the table. Like it was just. I think that this started to become a little silly and funny, but it was still action packed. But it was like this just shows how much bigger Drew McIntyre is compared to them. Like it's just like him big brothering everybody and just throwing them around like kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can even see the announcers back there when he was about to do that. They were like, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!"
It was
And they
coming
just
for
like
me.
scattered, trying to grab their coffee and their notes and their
Yeah,
tablet. It's like, guys, you got to keep your head on a swivel, man. You're in a wrestling match. You should know better.
exactly,
But you see the
exactly.
suspenders there too. They're flying around all over the
Yeah,
place for the rest.
completely off. I guess
Just
got to be uncomfortable if it like gets snagged on something. Like that's all I was thinking. I was like, oh Jesus.
yeah.
Do
But
we have a shot of when Drew gets slammed into the barricade?
oh, I got that
Oh,
too.
just bent
So
over.
first,
Yeah.
he got hit with that steel chair. I was like, okay, like I can see where that's going. They charge him all the way to that
Dude, it
barricade,
was
just
bad.
bang. I thought it was
Bent-
over. I
Yeah,
thought
I
they
bent
mean,
it in
stole it.
half.
they're lucky they're padded.
Right.
Oh yeah, most definitely. If it's like the ones at NXT, the fight's over.
Yeah, he still hit it hard though, man. I mean, that it's still bent, it still went flying. That's not a fun hit, regardless. It's just that much weight and inertia.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh man, that's a take. I didn't know that. Did anybody know that? Devon Dudley is retired from professional wrestling.
He just had like major spinal surgery.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see if it's truly retired.
Fight kitties.
Yeah, Fight Kitty. Tune in. She got it all, man. You want to fact check? Lady J's the one. That's why I said you got to get back. You got to get on the oral crew sometime. We got to get you there to fact check us because we just be saying anything, talking out our ass most of the time. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's super predictable, but we kind of knew where it was going.
Young B's hating it.
I know, right?
It's WWE, like we said. You got to take it for what it is, man. You can't
I wouldn't say
they
it's
can't put you
predictable.
through
The
too
ending
many.
threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting that.
No. The sword's a little corny. The
I
very
like the
fact that the
sword.
sword has like a sheath and the turnbuckle, I'm just like, ooh.
Oh yeah, we saw that. That was fantastic. Let's get to that.
My favorite
I
part.
mean,
When he pulled it out, enough of the shenanigans, Happy Corbin.
no
That's what that
more.
was. He was like, if I see you one more time, I'm cutting your head off. That's
Yeah.
literally what it felt like. And he
Just
tucked his
nailed
tail and
Madcap
ran.
with that
Yeah.
Claymore. Put
Oh,
him
yeah.
out. It was like, you stay out
Done.
of my ring.
Done.
He was going after that. So, that left him to, have his way with Madcap Moss. He hits him with a Claymore kick, pins him just like this. This is probably one of the hardest pins I've ever seen. I was like, that's dope. That's a cold shot.
Yeah, it's definitely
That was so awesome.
it's definitely pretty badass. It reminds me of like Warlow in AEW. He does like the 4 power bombs in a
Oh.
row and then just steps on them.
Nate, are you serious? Hold on a minute.
There's no predicting it.
Nah.
No, it's not. No, it's
Nah.
not. I don't believe you.
Edge and AJ.
I don't believe you.
It's a
I don't
dream
think
match. It
Yeah.
is.
But
I
for
don't think that's gonna
WrestleMania,
happen.
don't put that in WrestleMania. Put that in put that in something smaller. Because first off, Edge is still, he's not his normal
not there.
self. Yeah, don't do that to Edge. That's too much expectation.
AJ's getting better. Ed, don't get me wrong. Edge is a legend. He's there. He's there forever. But AJ's getting better. He's getting stronger. He's refining his skill. I think
exactly.
he destroyed poor Edge. I mean, he
Yeah.
looks haggard.
He's still fresher. Edge is old, man.
Well,
Edge,
that's the point. Because AJ's like, I got to get my match in with Edge before he like retires for reals.
Okay.
not at WrestleMania.
Let's beat
man.
this old guy up.
Yeah, exactly. That's a terrible match for WrestleMania. And yeah, a lot of matches are pretty short. The DQs that I've seen have been because of the bloodline. And I'm going to touch on that later too. Like, I'm kind of sick of it. I'm sick of seeing how they've been kind of ruining matches. And I mean, I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, me and Billy, where I was like, Jesus Christ, all these daggone interferences. And like, I think it was a SmackDown. It was like 7 of the 8 matches were all interfered with.
It
was like, come on, man. Yeah, like you want to see a regular match. So that is one take I can get with because the shortness of them and like some of like the DQs that happen are kind of like really you didn't have to have that happen. But they got to keep it entertaining for somebody. Clearly it wasn't us, but this one was actually good. I'm not gonna bash Elimination Chamber. I enjoyed Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
So moving on to the singles match with Rey Mysterio, the one that nobody saw except me, clearly.
I saw the
Thought that Rey
notes.
Mysterio. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
I saw the notes and I saw the rumors of where it's leading to.
So, here's your rundown. So, as you can see, everybody knew who was going to win. And that's exactly who did win. So, the only reason I saw it was because they did a small little recap on it because I guess they knew nobody saw it. So, they did a little recap of what went down. And so, in the middle of their fight, The Miz pulled out a chair. Dominic grabs said chair trying to save his father from getting hit with it. And the ref then turns around and ejects him. So The Miz is like, I got you, right? And so he then tries to hit Rey Mysterio with, his finishing slam, only to get reversed, rolled into a pin. That's the win. You can see Dominic clearly walking away, right?
Yeah.
That's for there's a detail in that for later.
On.
Yeah, getting the shaft 100%. And so The Miz gets angry after their match, tries to attack Rey Mysterio after their match. Dominic comes back, beats him down, and they then hit him with some serious 619s and frog splashes.
619.
Nice.
And this is 100% the take. Yeah, if Eddie was still alive, he'd probably beat the hell out of The Miz. This fight wouldn't even happen. Oh, yeah, especially what he said about Dominic. I remember that. I think
that was just
Billy
a slap in the
we were like,
face,
ooh.
Man. Dirty.
That was a very rough thing to say. He's actually very lucky to not have been murdered right then and there when he said it, honestly, because that would have gotten real bad, real fast. Let's see, so we got some more comments, though, real quick. Edge is a million times better on the mic. Yeah. That's why we loved him. His skills talking were awesome.
Yeah.
And they still are. They still are. But he's a lot more docile now. And he has every right to be. That's kind of why I don't want to see him fight that much, other than those like dream matchups. But I don't need to see him do any big matches on any huge pay-per-views or anything. Just keep him on the side, keep him on like the regular stuff. That's my biggest like suggestion. But
yeah, I don't see that in WrestleMania. I think we have way other larger and more impressive fight cards that we can line up. And
exactly.
I say the proverbial we. I have no part in it.
Yeah, you're right, because there's so much new talent, and it's time to kind of let these old wrestlers go. I know that's hard to say because we love everybody that we grew up with, but man, it's time to, we gotta start cycling these guys out. So, that's where I'm thinking about it, man. I just need to, we need to see some new talent. So I'm glad that Austin Theory got some shine too. But getting into the last part, so we saw The Miz backstage. And he is crying foul immediately, talking about how he was cheated, how he was double teamed, and everybody saw it. And like you saw earlier in the other shot, you saw Dominic was clearly leaving. He didn't do anything in it. And he's just complaining, sore loser. So he says that he needs to get a tag team partner. And Lady J had a really nice info on that.
Yeah. So I'm looking up the news for Fight Kitties, of course. And I'm like, no. The Miz, they pitched Logan Paul, and we talk about Jake Paul like freaking half the time.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul's been on several times, so it's not completely far-fetched.
No, it's not. That would be very interesting. The Miz and Logan Paul. I mean,
I think he'd be good for wrestling.
Charisma's there. Yeah, I was about to say they have the charisma, they have the talking and the swagger for it. Could they go into WWE? That's a hell of a commitment. Maybe they'll.
Yeah,
maybe he'll
and I think that's
like Bad Bunny.
That's the biggest issue. It's probably going to be a couple paydays, couple cameos, but definitely not a contract, man. I don't think he could hold on to something like that.
Yeah, I think that's too much of a commitment. I think that's way too much of a commitment. But it still would be fun to watch. I think he'd be great to see in the ring every now and then. But what did y'all think of this one? Like I said, man, my heart. I was hurt watching this one. I didn't know who to pick.
Yeah, I was. It was a fun match, and Becky Lynch was. She showed up, man. She really put her heart into it. She didn't hold back, and I was expecting more from. I mean, we got to see some cool moves from Leah, but I was expecting more.
I'm not a big Becky Lynch fan. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never heard anybody say that. Why?
I know. Well, okay. So when I first loved her, she was still like this steampunk character, and then I liked her as the man, but I don't like this big time Bex thing.
It's definitely an arrogance that she's gotten about herself.
Yeah.
And it's the belt. You know, you get the belt and everybody's ego gets bigger.
It's like
Happened
the
to
ring
Big
of
E, too.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, yeah, around then I thought Lita did enough to have it. Honestly, if it was anybody but Becky, she would have had it. Like, ooh, match of the night. That's a good take. I'm be honest.
I like the
It
Drew.
was super good. I did like Drew, but if we're talking about like a real intense, like both of them like matching each other's intensity, this was the match. I'll be completely honest. Like Lita really showed up, but the prediction. I mean, everybody. I like those numbers. I feel like those numbers are fair.
Yeah.
Everybody thought Becky Lynch, and Lita is older, so I'm okay with those numbers. But yeah, Becky Lynch did what she had to do to retain and keep her championship, but it was by no means easy. Like she laid it on Lita, and Lita was fine. Like she had no choice but to try to go for her neck. That didn't bother Lita too much. Like yeah, she was just like not. She refused to go. Like you can see, Becky Lynch pulled all the stops out. She was just trying everything to make this match quick. And Lita would not give up, man. This was really a show of heart for Lita. And I'm saying, like, regardless of that, she came back, was really pouring it on Becky Lynch. Like, it was amazing the things that she was doing. Like, look at the pain face of Becky Lynch. Like, she didn't want to fight no more. This was like horror. Like, you could see it in her eyes. Like, this was not going her way after a while.
I didn't like the way it started, though. It's like Becky tried to do the disarmer real early, and then she was like slapping herself at one point. I'm like, what is going on, girl?
We've been saying it too. There's a whole mental thing going on with Becky Lynch with this because, I mean, this is her idol. So I think that just because of that, there's a whole other side to this. So I think she just was like, I don't want to fight you. I just want this to be over. So please stop fighting me. Let's just stop this now. And Lita was not having that. But I do agree with that. I think Trish Stratus watched this with tears of joy. I hope I got the shot. I think I did because I saw when she tried to hit her finisher, like Trish Stratus's finisher on her.
Yeah.
And she hit it. It was a little sloppy. No, I'm saying Trish Stratus's finisher. I don't remember what it's called. But like it's like when she does like
it wasn't the
handstand
stratosphere.
No, it was something else, but it was super dope. What's up, Mohammed?
What's up?
Hey.
What's good, bro? But man, this was just a super fun match to watch. These guys really took it to each other. I like that variation she did on one of her twists of fates because she tried it a bunch of times and Becky was not going for it, and then she like turned it into some weird stunner DDT kind of thing. I don't know what that was.
That counter was absolutely fantastic. When she countered that and went into the really, really nice. It was a DDT.
Yeah.
So smooth, so
Stratisfaction.
Stratisfaction.
Got you.
Stratisfaction.
Okay.
That's
but at one point,
that's
commentary.
What it is, right? I heard the song in my head. Can't stop.
Well,
okay, hold on.
DJ?
So commentary at one point was like, Lita made her career out of flying high. And I'm like, that was just like a little crossbody cover. What's the big deal? Like, we're waiting for the Lita salt, not this.
I get that. And I mean, again, though, with Lita's heart, man, because I forget what Becky Lynch hit her with, but I was sure that it was over. And then she just stuck her foot over the rope like a last-ditch effort with like half a second left for the pin. Like, I was like,
total
wow,
vet move.
This is crazy. Like, I think everybody had the same face as Becky Lynch did. Like, we were like, are you kidding me? How is this not over?
It's called ring awareness.
Yeah, this is a vet move. This is what you're supposed to do. And I mean, she finally hit that twisted fate, did her moonsault. I was on my feet. I watched this. It was over, and I was on my feet. I was like, yeah, she did it. Like I thought she won, but somehow Becky Lynch survived. And I mean, what kind of pin is this? This just shows you how exhausted these ladies were, man. They did everything on each other. Like this was the last kind of pin that they could do. Literally
was it just a spine buster?
Yeah, that was the finish, and she just like did the lazy I'm dead over you cover.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just dead
I
weight.
wasn't loving it.
I'm just gonna lay here and hope that you don't move. And
Please,
this
ref,
was,
count
yeah,
fast.
just count fast and let this be over. And she got the win. Did like, I'm impressed. To say anything else is beyond it, man. I'm just impressed. This was a great match.
I did
think
not
that
like the end. I'm like, that's it. This is.
I'm sure Lita
I mean, yeah. I was hurt, like, but I was also happy that Becky Lynch kept it because I mean, this will just put her on another level. This is just another notch on her belt. So it's like, so who will she lose against?
and
You
a
know what
ton
I
of
mean?
experience. That was a
Yeah,
ton of experience for her. She needed that match.
yeah,
I mean, this
exactly.
ties in the stories that I heard that WWE didn't have a whole lot more for Lita to do after this, and I'm like, oh, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Oh man, I hope that this isn't the end though. I saw this and I had to suck a tear back in like on Clash of the Champions. I was like, no, we're gonna see
Like
her again. It's okay.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I was like, don't do it. Don't let this tear fall. Because I was like, this feels like a goodbye. It felt a whole lot like a goodbye when she like, because you could tell she was sad, and it didn't seem like she was sad she was sad at how it went, but it was like she was sad because this might be the last time that we really do see her. So I was like, no, don't let this be it because this was such a great fight, and she clearly like still has the skills and still has that like physicality to be able to do this, So I'm hoping that we still see a little bit of her. Put her like Edge. Let's see her every now and then, but don't like put her on the shelf. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I agree with
That's
that.
where I'm at with it. But we got one comment. Hello, I have a question. Kevin Owens says Raw that he wants a match at WrestleMania. Stone Cold. Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
We were talking about that
that's
too.
The rumor. That's the rumor so far. How interested I am with it. but it is a match, you know what I mean? Like
It is. It's like so out of nowhere, Kevin Owens decides he hates Texas just to piss off Steve Austin.
Yeah, I was a bit taken back by that as well.
You do what you got to do to get where you want to get.
Was it to piss off Steve Austin? Was that the whole point of it? I thought it was because of that survey.
Now that you said that, like now that Lady J said that, that would be an interesting way to do it. Like
Now
Stunner versus Stunner. Hell yeah. But we all know whose Stunner is better. Like you can't go with the OG.
Come on. If
we
anything,
know
KO is the senton man. So that's the cannonball senton. That's his thing. The Stunner. I mean, he can do it. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, he definitely practiced it as a kid. That's for sure. Whoa. Let me put this one up. Lesnar said this? Is that what you're trying to say? Because, I mean, needed to step up.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. I mean, that's
yeah. That's a long take. That's a different take. But I mean, I can see it. I think
every vet does that. I mean, that's the whole point of being the new guy, the rookie. You got to take your licks. And if you're the alpha vet, you got to give them.
Talking about taking licks. Hold on. There was that beautiful Undertaker Hall of Fame, like promo production.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I loved the Undertaker promo.
It was a tribute.
The Undertaker promo was great. It was super great. I think that it was just as long as it needed to be too. It was just a really great promo.
I love that it did. It seemed like it did such a great job encompassing his entire career, and really showed you like how good he really is and how long he's been good. It was fantastic.
And his different phases and looks and the music.
Cool. Loved it.
I absolutely had a blast with it, but let me put up this one because this is an interesting one too. Stone Cold's character doesn't fit in with today's wrestlers, has to be toned down now. Maybe, and that's kind of my fear.
His character, his characters get in there and whoop ass. Let him get in there and whoop
talk
ass.
the same, but yeah, he's probably not gonna like bash beers like we want him to, or like flick. No,
we're gonna see some beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just probably not going to use the P word or C word or.
Yeah, he may tone that down, but I think that's fine. What's up, man?
Hi.
How's
Hold
it
on,
going?
guys are getting a
Yeah.
lot of love. I love it.
Oh man, Randy Orton should turn on Matt Riddle. Oh wow,
Dang. No, I like RK Bro.
I would be hurt. Yeah, I was about to say I'd be
Yeah,
hurt.
man, I'm not
I
done
think
with
that
that
them
yet.
facing each other would be fun, but not now. I need to get
Yeah.
this out my system. Yeah, and I do think that too because there was that promo. I think if Steve Austin comes back, so does The Rock. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be more of an interesting take than seeing him and Kevin Owens. If I'm being
Especially since
completely
The Rock
honest.
is like twice the size. I mean, he's
Exactly.
nearly double.
If we're talking about somebody who has only gotten better, we're talking about The Rock. You know what I mean? Like
He is a
if he comes back,
fine
it's gonna be
wine.
scary.
Yeah, he's just a specimen, a freak of nature, man. I'd love to see that. Hopefully he can do it.
100%. Yeah, but all right, going into the next one, man. So
Ugh.
the tag team championship to be the Usos and Viking Raiders. Ugh,
That was awful.
garbage. I hated this.
I looked
I
away
don't
for like a
even wanna
minute. I'm like,
comment.
what the heck happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all were kind of annoyed with it. I mean, it wasn't a match. Nothing happened.
Nothing
Yeah.
happened.
Like literally before Viking Raiders could even step in, those Usos jumped them out of nowhere, beat the brakes off them. Give you that, but it's not fair. Like you hit people with super kicks and do all this, and there's nothing really. Like nobody's ready for it. The ring is right there. You couldn't wait. Like this was all dirty, man. Like this was just a dirty win. Wasn't even a win.
It wasn't a win. It wasn't a match.
No.
I looked at Tommy
No.
Mack. I'm like, what the heck was this? Were they supposed to
Completely
have a
disappointed.
match?
Yeah. Like I said, I don't even really want to comment on it. I was just so
Yeah. Unfortunately, we
Lame.
have to.
Worst part.
And I'm just I was not happy with this one at all. This was definitely a bad moment. But I mean, honestly, this probably is the heel turn that we really need to see between them because maybe they'll finally go full heel. Maybe, because this was one of those things. But like I said, my speculation is that Jay fought the night before, got on a flight, flew 9 hours, and was exhausted.
Had
like,
nothing.
you're not about to get a match out of me, bro. We're gonna have to revisit this when we get back in the States.
That's your job.
I mean, yeah.
Get out there, go earn.
Yeah, you better snort something or something, man. You better get that energy up.
Snort something. You can get a B12 shot. Drink a Red Bull.
Doesn't The Rock have an energy drink now?
Yeah, he does. And it's all natural and vegan and good stuff. No crashes. Come on, Usos. Get out there and go wrestle. If that's your excuse, I feel like that's what it was.
Lame. I truly feel like that's what it was, man. But
Lame.
yeah, I'm not. Nobody
Too big
was happy
for your
with
shoes,
it.
man. Go
I
earn.
think it'll definitely turn their characters though. So I'm interested to see what happens with their characters more than anything because I'm like, man, whatever. Because it's the same thing that kind of Roman Reigns did, but at least Roman Reigns fought. So it's like, maybe this is just like we're starting to finally see flaws in the bloodline and they're just giving it to us,
Oh, I'll watch for the rumors on Fight Kitties.
Yeah, you guys tune in to Fight Kitties because we will for sure too because we need to know. This needs to be answered.
People want to know what the heck was that all about.
Yeah, if anything in Elimination Chamber, this was the one. But now we're going to get into the main event.
All right.
The men's chamber match. Yes. Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Matt Riddle, Bobby Lashley, and Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Clearly, everybody was pulling for Brock Lesnar.
What was up with the Seth freaking Rollins promo video? It's like, look at how awesome all my suits are.
I loved it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Dude, I'm a huge fan of Seth Rollins. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, man.
On me.
I don't know how far I want him to go, but Jesus Christ, Seth Rollins is a dog, man. I can't believe y'all disrespected Seth Rollins this much and put AJ Styles and Austin Theory and Matt Riddle over that. What is wrong with you people?
Riddle over Seth Rollins.
Over Seth Rollins.
That says a lot, man.
Man, I love Matt Riddle, but Jesus, I wouldn't say that Matt Riddle is annoying. I think that he's silly, but it works. It works.
Yeah, I think he's a very accurate representation of a very big part of our population.
Yeah.
Based on like 70% of the people I have to hire, yeah, it's unavoidable. It's like that guy is out there everywhere.
100%. 100%.
For that reason, I think he fits in WWE. And He's funny. I'm not gonna lie. The antics
Yeah.
that he brings is different, and it makes me laugh. It's cheesy, it's
Yeah.
corny, but it reminds me of like Dumb and Dumber. You know,
Yeah.
it's corny, but it makes me laugh, and for that reason, I like it.
Yeah. Somebody said stop doing WWE reviews. We just need to do AEW. No. And here's why. Because again, if it ain't us, somebody else is gonna do it. So you're just gonna have to get used to it. WWE has been here and it's gonna be here, man. I'm sorry.
It's gonna happen.
I know a lot of us don't like it, and I have my issues with WWE too. But again, you gotta take it for what it is. Just stop expecting what we grew up with. It's dead and gone. Just accept it. You'll start the grieving process. Let it go, and you'll have a lot more fun with it. I'm telling you. AEW may be taking over because that's our style. That's the things that we like. But WWE is huge, so you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it because it is still fun, and it's its own thing now.
It is, and you have to appreciate that it's its own thing. And I wouldn't say that it's dead. They're just going through a rebuild.
Yeah,
and hopefully it's not a magic rebuild. Hopefully we're not in this for another decade.
Well, NXT is going through some major changes.
NXT,
but I like
promising.
NXT. Yeah. NXT's been doing its thing.
Again, guys, great talent.
Watch NXT because NXT is really, really good for them to watch. I'm telling you. But this was a fun one. Does Lesnar know Chamber rules? Clearly he didn't. I know that this was his first one. Like this was his first Chamber match, which is a surprise. But having somebody like Lesnar, are you going to make him? Are you going to enforce those rules?
He wouldn't even follow the rules.
He barely follows the rules.
Yeah, he barely fit in the pod. Like he was just getting claustrophobic. That's all.
Yeah. But this was a really fun match. I was surprised that Seth Rollins was first up, but this was cool.
So was I.
I think it was good though because you saw nobody took Austin Theory seriously last week. You could see Seth Rollins laughing at him. You could see Brock Lesnar chuckling at him. Nobody's taking him serious.
Until that fisherman suplex.
Thank you. You brought it up, Lady J. That was absolutely fantastic. And I love seeing great, just old school stuff like that, man. Executed beautifully. And it just shows his fundamental skills.
They did Seth dirty. I think that the rating people did Seth dirty more than the wrestlers did. But Seth can take a beating. So if anybody's gonna introduce people to Austin Theory, I think it should have been Seth Rollins. I think if they had Matt Riddle and Austin Theory, that would have been boring. We've already seen him and AJ Styles, which was a great match. So I think the next one up was Seth Rollins. Out of everybody in here, nobody's gonna watch a one-on-one with Brock Lesnar and Austin Theory or Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. That's not going to work out. So I think that this was a really good one. They need to give him a belt. I'm with you. Yes, they do. Just not now. Not yet. But he'll get one.
Okay, yeah. So Nate's like, they did him dirty. And it's like, well, yes, statistically, 12% of the first two people have a chance of winning this match.
Yeah. Sorry. That's just the way it goes.
Saying that. Yeah. And but he did his thing, man. I was really impressed with this. Yes. Where was it? Lesnar definitely killed Austin Theory, but for the time that he was in there, he did a great job, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But Seth Rollins is just better. He's a lot more experienced. Austin Theory was definitely not going to win this. As much as I would have enjoyed it if he did, I don't think anybody else would have. I think a lot of people would have burned their TVs if that happened. But I thought it would have been kind of funny if he did win it or if he snuck it. And I thought that was what was going to happen at the end. But this is what I really wasn't expecting.
That was a hard bump.
Wow. Okay, so this I had to rewind and watch that a couple times to see how Bobby where he hit his head and how he did. But it was right on the back of the head, which is the occipital, which is your eyes. That's super sensitive. So he took a hard bump and it was right on that little support railing. And I was kind of what's going on? I was very confused. Yeah. And the docs came and checked him out. And my first thought was man, who made these cages? That's some janky stuff. It can't even take a thump from Theory.
I don't know what.
And he went down hard.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if this was planned, if it wasn't. I'm still confused. I don't know what really happened because if it was planned, I'm going to be furious.
I thought it was a work, and I thought he'd come in later.
Yeah.
See, that's how I thought it was a work as well. But like when I watched that, he really did. He hit right on the back of his head. So I think he got put in the concussion hold, and that it went very differently than anybody thought it would because of that.
Yeah.
I think that was.
I think that they were
not
100% building up for Lashley and Lesnar at the end, and that unfortunately didn't happen. And then Riddle came out of nowhere and really started,
Wow.
beating everybody up.
Talk about kicking
Riddle,
it up.
man. Yeah, Riddle is not one to be like, everybody is still sleeping on this man. And I don't know why. Like, he is a really good wrestler.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. I mean, when he gets,
good.
yeah, he's got to get a couple pops in. He's got to get worked and beat up a little bit. He's kind of like Rocky. But, I mean, he comes back with the fury. When he gets that pump going and the tea starts flowing, he comes back, man. It's like he burns off that stoner mentality he has and starts whooping ass, man.
Yeah, with an overhead kick and those running sentons, and goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Oh, yeah. This, I don't even know what this was, but, man, this was impressive because it was, like, right off of the top because I know
Top
Riddle
rope
was trying to get all the way at
suplex.
the top. Yeah, and it was super impressive. I mean, I thought that this was going to put Riddle out, but, so much is always going on. And like we were just talking about, Bobby Lashley was, like, pulled out. I think once Adam Pearce came in, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
That was really distracting, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was super distracting.
Same. I was just constantly staring in the background
over
the whole
fights.
time,
Yeah,
seeing what was going on.
Because all the fights are going on and you see everybody crowding over him. So I was like, is he really hurt? Like, I really can't tell. I don't know what's going on,
Even Brock Lesnar, he was shooting over like this the whole time, looking over at Bobby, like, what's going on? Still pumped, still waiting to, like, what do I do? What do I do? You got to let me out, or like, what's going on?
Yeah, for sure, right? And I mean, AJ Styles was a whole different beast too for a little bit. I think that his pop was a lot shorter than everybody else. It didn't seem as effective as anybody else, which was kind of weird. I mean, we saw a phenomenal forearm and everything, but it seemed kind of like lackadaisical. It just wasn't.
Austin Theory took him down, and Seth Rollins down.
Put some respect
he cleaned out
on Austin Theory's name.
That was great. See, this is what
awesome.
You and I have been talking about, Dijon.
Yeah.
I mean, Theory really coming in, showing that ring awareness, and seeing an opportunity and fully seizing it, and taking competitors out. He did a great job singling himself out.
It was awesome. This was fantastic. This was one of the best moments, in my opinion, of the match, because this shows these new guys and what they can do. Like nobody still really knows who Austin Theory is, but every time he steps in, he's introducing himself with some crazy move.
Well, the only thing we know about Austin Theory is that he's like Vince McMahon's little pet or something.
Yep. He's been sniffing his butt for a couple months now.
Yeah, he's been brown nosing. If he leaves that, I'd like him a lot more.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do to get your spot. So I get it. I understand it for now. But we'll see how his character develops.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Well, so we take up AJ Styles, and then Riddle's just left there to like channel his inner Randy Orton.
Yeah, man.
Right.
This was
throwing
awesome.
it back.
I loved it.
Yeah. So is that the double DDT, or is that still considered the RKO?
No, this was the double DDT.
Yeah.
But he was charging up for that RKO.
I saw him setting up.
Just, I was like, oh man, this is gonna go crazy. Like I was super excited. I was super excited to see this. I thought that there was I thought he was gonna do a double pin or something. I didn't know what he was about to do. Some double RKO. I have no idea. But that kind of paused because we were waiting to see who was gonna, like, if Brock Lesnar's coming out, and then they opened up Bobby Lashley, and everybody was like,
it's like it automatically opened. We're like, well, who's gonna come out? And then freaking Brock's like, I'm coming in.
You can
see the little
like,
light thing. It's supposed to be random, but all of a sudden, it landed on Bobby. It was supposed to be the next guy, right?
Yeah.
But,
and then freaking Brock just comes in, eliminating everyone.
Dude, F5s for everybody.
Exactly it. F5s for everybody. Like Oprah, you got one out. Seth Rollins out immediately.
Riddle
F5 for
out.
Riddle out immediately. I mean, AJ Styles F5 out immediately. It was so bad. Poor Austin Theory was left to fend for himself. I was like,
Great
oh no,
shot.
he tried his
Oh
best.
man.
You got
He
nowhere
tried
to
his best to
run.
He tried, he tried to lock himself in a chamber.
I was worried there. You see, he's like holding on to like the jagged edge of the plexiglass or whatever.
Yeah, trying to
did see
just
that.
hold on for dear life.
I thought his mic cut him.
Brock
this was
just
actually
looked like
hilarious.
the Hulk.
This was honestly hilarious. You see him trying to climb out. He did everything he could. He just successfully pissed him off because he hit him with that low blow. Tried to quickly pin him.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah, you touched on that. That wasn't a low blow, man. That was a solid, like, fistful of nuts. Like, he hit him hard. And,
honestly,
like,
if there is no way out of a situation with somebody like Brock Lesnar, can you blame him?
Oh no, absolutely. It
Well,
reminded me
after
of
that maniacal smile on his face, you're like, oh god.
Do you remember when Mortal Kombat when Johnny Cage did that to Goro?
Exactly.
And he's just like,
bang.
Brock looked
That's
just
exactly
like
what it was. Just a full-on nut shot. I mean, again, I can't blame Austin Theory, and he still tried to run. I don't think he should have got the pin. I don't think he should have even went for a pin. He should have been up that cage and out, and it would have been.
I was surprised how fast Brock went up that cage.
Oh,
yeah, man.
The fury.
Dude, that big man moved.
He was gonna get him, and get him he did. I mean, look at the shot. He beat the crap out of him, just banging his head on the plexiglass.
Right,
Yeah,
it reminded me of like Michael Myers, a scene from a Halloween or something. Just like
just overkill. Just like, this guy is done, man. Just end it. And luckily
they're on top of the pod there.
Yeah.
And just threw him off at F5. Was that an
F5?
Called that an
off
F5?
the pod.
Yeah. At that point, I was like, "Oh my god, he's going over."
No, that was pretty extreme.
Killer ending.
Gotta say.
I loved
ending.
it. I mean, it was look at that. Even a solid pin, just bending them back, making them remember it.
I was still waiting to see Bobby Lashley come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have said it in the comments. I was trying to just wait. Hold on, let me see, because there was a few people saying that they were waiting on some interferences, man. Let me see. Yeah, someone's gonna interfere, and attack Lesnar, just like Shawn Michaels did Undertaker. Like, yeah, I was expecting something. I thought Roman Reigns. I saw somebody say that too.
That's what really makes me think. Like, Lashley he hurt his head.
Yeah,
I watched it a couple times, man. I really think he has a real concussion, and we'll probably hear about it tomorrow or tonight.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, honestly, man, like, aside from all like the question marks, this was still a pretty good match. Like, it was a great event. It was much better than I gotta say, I'll stick to that.
Yeah, just because it was unexpected, I really don't think that was supposed to happen with Bobby. That made the ending even better. I mean, that just means they went out there and did whatever they had to do and still put on a great show for all of us and made it fun. And for that, man, thanks for a great show. They did an awesome job. Yeah.
So what's the ratings, guys? I'll start it off. So we do our ratings 1 to 5. 5 stars being fight forever. 4 stars, this is awesome. 3 stars, you still got it.
Yep.
2 stars, what? And 1 star, man,
boring.
It's boring. Don't watch it. Please don't watch it.
The
Just watch us and
Usos
we'll get
and
it better.
Vikings was boring. Don't watch it.
That was
so
like
what would you guys give it?
What the heck?
Yeah, that's a big what boring. No, I would give this, even though it was a pay-per-view event, there was still, I mean, it was a great event. I mean, and I don't want to give it a 5 just because it was a pay-per-view. I think this was really, really good. It was solid all the way through. I wouldn't give it a 2 for a 1. I think that these wrestlers went out, they gave it their heart. It was a little weird at the end. But it was a solid episode.
I'd give it a 4. It was good. I enjoyed it.
3.5. I'd say 3.5 to 4. Leaning towards more 4. I see why people are saying 3. Yeah, honestly, didn't like the ending. Nobody liked the ending, but you gotta judge the entire event. Just don't look at just that. Look at the entire thing. If we're just judging the last one, then it was like a 2, 3. Like, it was
absolutely. If we're just looking at the matches, I would 100% agree. Guys, let's not forget there were some great promos. We got to see, I mean, even the Bobby Lashley promo was fantastic. So there was more to this event than just the actual matches, and we have to pay attention and kind of look at that. And for that reason, I think that's why I gave it that little bump.
Exactly
the
what Nate
matches were
said,
good,
man.
and
Bobby was
because
there.
they were able to pull that
out, that would have been a whole other thing. Like the match would have went probably a lot different, a lot more smooth. But you know, it felt different once Bobby Lashley like left out. So, you know, I think that had a lot to do with it. But talking about overall, like I have no complaints with this. It wasn't too bad. Especially if you're looking at Royal Rumble compared to this, man. I can't get
Oh my
over
God,
that.
the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Let's
much,
not forget
much,
the trauma that we've all endured off of Royal Rumble. This was way better.
I couldn't agree more.
I know.
There we go.
Did you guys see the first time they had women in Saudi Arabia?
No.
Nah. Missed it.
Man. So compared to that one, I'm like, this is awesome. This was a great match. I loved how big it was. It was like WrestleMania quality.
Yeah. And see, and that's something else that we got to talk about. You know, this is a huge deal over there in Saudi Arabia. You know, 4 or 5 years ago, women couldn't even drive. So so seeing something like that over there is a big deal. So this whole event was really cool, and I liked it for that reason. So there's a lot of stuff that made me give it that 5. This was just awesome. It was so much better than a normal SmackDown or Raw or WWE. It had the same production of WrestleMania, and the buildup was fantastic.
Yeah, and like Ryan said, I do believe that this was probably going to go into Brock's favor anyway, and you know it was going to be a title for title, but there's still a lot of wrestling left. So who's to say that Bobby Lashley won't challenge again and maybe take the title from Brock Lesnar? We don't know. You know, there's still April's a ways away, man. We still got a whole other month.
Like 42 days. They're counting down.
Yeah, exactly. Like there could be a triple threat match. There could be a lot of developments that we still don't know about. So I'm just excited to be along the ride. This still has my attention. I'm nowhere near as mad as I was at Royal Rumble. And that's all I'm going to keep saying. I'm going to keep comparing it to what we went through before. And this was so much better, man. So, you know, I'm glad. But,
absolutely,
you know, I'm good. If you guys, that's all I got. What about you guys?
Just thought of the next Rumble again.
Yeah, it's 5:30, man. I got to get ready, man. Everybody that's on here, dude, this is awesome. First off, can I just say this is awesome? How many people we got tuned in? This is awesome. I love the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Keep these comments coming. Like, follow,
share, subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Click on get those ats, tweet us, add us on Instagram. You know, we will respond, all that, man, and definitely. Come back here in 30 minutes and check out the All Real Crew. It's gonna be awesome, man. This is gonna be a fun one, and you know, like I said, this is an open invitation. Lady J, Billy, y'all are more than welcome to stop by, man. This is gonna be a really fun show.
Send some comments.
Yeah, send some comments, guys. Definitely transfer over 6 o'clock. The All Real Crew is gonna go over this UFC, Bellator, a lot, and we're gonna roast some people along the way. So it's gonna be fun. Definitely check it out. But
all right, guys.
Until next time.
My sign off is keep it lucha.
Keep it lucha. What's yours, Billy? Oh, Billy's frozen. Well, that's Billy's outro and my outro.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, catch you guys later.